Our movie opening tries to support as many stereotypes as we can. This is because characters that follow a stereotype are easier to understand, and we didn't want our opening to make the audience think too much apart from the obvious questions we have left, i.e. who killed John? One way we follow stereotypes is by thinking about what age we are and therefore what we should do in our film. Movies like Grease did extremely well, making $400 in box office with a $600 budget due to them using stereotypes about teens. We thought it was more entertaining for audience to watch predictable characters in a film opening. We therefore used low-angle shots to highlight the confidence and perhaps the undeserved pride that comes with being a teen at the beginning of our opening. Also, the whole plot of the film opening is a stereotype, as the fact that the characters are there looking for drugs highlights the bad nature associated with teens. However, we did also include a countertype. Movies like The Cabin in the Woods, directed by Drew Goddard, released in 2012, has the stereotype of teens running towards danger. Our movie, however, does the opposite and makes the main character run as soon as danger is apparent. We felt like this was a good thing, as the key to a good movie opening is surprises, and we thought this countertype would be one of them. We also followed stereotypes regarding gender. It is usually accepted that men are more mischievous and possibly more idiotic than girls. We wanted to make this idea shown in the film, as the two characters looking for drugs are male. Again, we did this as a stereotypical character is easy to follow, and we didn't want to make the film opening too complex for the audience. While a controversial character can be interesting to watch, like Katniss in The Hunger Games, directed by Gary Ross, released in 2012, and while the movie did do extremely well with a Rotten Tomatoes score of 84% and a box office of over $400 million, we felt like we only had a time limit of 3 minutes on how long our film could be, and as a result, we didn't want to make the characters too complex. In conclusion, we only had teens that could be in our film, and so we needed to find a plot that would work with this age group. Drugs was a perfect theme, therefore, and the fact that it is very stereotypical to link the two is great, as while a movie film opening should leave questions by having interesting characters, if they are too unusual, they are unrelatable. This meant the theme of drugs worked well with the two male teen characters in the movie. Our group lent a lot on stereotypes in order to find believable characters. The conventions of a movie is its basic expected features of a genre of that film. For example, romance takes a male and female from two very different backgrounds, and action tends to take a strong protagonist and put them up against a stronger antagonist. The genre of our film was horror/thriller, and so the expected conventions was to have a few teens and kill them off. Conventions allow the audience to understand a film by making it similar to other movies of its. However, sticking to these guidelines can make a movie predictable and take out suspense. We look to find the balance between sticking to these guidelines and doing the opposite. One movie we used as an example was Blair Witch. This horror, released in 2016, directed by Adam Wingard, did not do that well. It only made a box office of $45 million with a budget of $5 million, and as a result, got 35% Rotten Tomatoes. However, there was a scene in the film where a POV point of view shot is used as someone is running through an abandoned building. We thought that the creative camera shots and mise-en-scène both contributed to making a scene creepy and giving it the feel our movie wanted. We also used the movie Trespass for inspiration, directed by Walter Hill and released in 1992. This movie got good ratings, 86% Rotten Tomatoes, but didn't make a big box office, $13 million, considering its budget was $14 million. This movie took advantage of the mysterious and eerie feel abandoned warehouses give, and we wanted to recreate this, given our genre we were going for was horror/thriller. As well as taking inspiration, we also tried to challenge conventions of real media. Most horror movies that try to have a main location attempt to scare the audience by creating a feel of being trapped and confined. They do this by setting the movie within a house, for example. This is the case with the movie The Cabin in the Woods, directed by Drew Goddard, released in 2012. This movie did well by using the stereotypical horror idea of trapping its victims in an isolated place. However, we challenged this idea by, instead of making tension by trapping our victims in a sport place, we attempted to make the audience on edge by the idea of using an overwhelmingly huge place. Our movie opening consists of someone trying to run over a huge distance to escape from danger. This idea of a big open space was used as we thought this would give the sense that running person was overwhelmingly small in comparison to everything else going on. In conclusion, while yes, we took inspiration from similar movies, therefore conforming to generic conventions, we wanted to create the desired sense of fear, therefore conforming to generic conventions.